Good evening, everyone. You're watching Awaz News. I'm Kubra Ali, and I'll be taking you to top news across Canada. Liberals borrow weird tactic from Democrats in latest attack on Pierre Poilievre. Toronto police investigating two separate shootings in North York. 18-year-old man from Denfield, Ontario in fatal motorcycle crash southwest of Toronto. Off-duty officer shot after locating suspect wanted on Canada-wide warrant, TPS. G7 foreign ministers say no country stands to gain from rising Middle East tensions. Two men critical after stabbing near Toronto's waterfront. Tragic occurrence: remains of missing 7-year-old girl located in London, Ontario, Thames River. Those were the headlines, and now let's look into the details. Toronto police are investigating two separate shootings in the city's West End on Sunday night. At about 9:40 p.m., a person walked into Humber River Hospital near Wilson Avenue and Keele Street with a gunshot wound. They added that it is unknown where the shooting happened. No suspect information is available at this time. The second shooting took place near Finch Avenue West and Western Road. Investigators said they were called to the scene at 9:45 p.m. for reports of a person found with a gunshot wound. There is also no suspect description in this case. The victim was brought to Humber River Hospital in a vehicle. Police said that both victims' injuries are non-life-threatening. It is unknown at this point if the two shootings are connected. Anyone with the information about either incident is asked to contact police at 416-808-2222 or Crime Stoppers anonymously. Two men have been critically injured in a stabbing near Toronto's waterfront. Toronto police said they were called to the Remembrance Drive and Lakeshore Boulevard West at 7:40 p.m. for a stabbing. Officers located two men with stab wounds, both critical. Sergeant Sean Cassidy told Awaz News. The two were subsequently transported to the hospital. Cassidy said the men had also been placed under arrest. We believe that the two people we have in custody were the two people involved in the altercation, he said. We are just sorting out the details as to who played what role. No other suspects are outstanding, police said. The circumstances surrounded the incident were not immediately known. Cassidy said officers were able to respond quickly as they were already in the area of the Caribbean Carnival Grand Parade. We have large crowds, he said. We did have a large contingent of officers down here policing this detail, so we were able to get officers on scene very fast. Cassidy added the several witnesses had already come forward and provided police with evidence to determine what transpired. Anyone who saw the incident hasn't spoken to police is being urged to contact them at 416-808-1400. A Toronto off-duty officer was shot on Saturday night after locating a suspect wanted on a Canada-wide warrant since 2022. In a media scrum on Sunday, police said that the off-duty officer was in the King Street West and Bathurst Street area at around 11:30 p.m. when he recognized the accused. The officer then alerted on-duty officers and approached a male suspect who proceeded to flee. A short-foot chase ensued, during which the accused shot the off-duty officer in the leg. At the time the accused was arrested, Detective Sergeant Brandon Price, Toronto Police Homicide and Missing Persons Unit said the officer was transported to hospital where his injuries were deemed non-life-threatening. He has since been released and is recovering at home. While Price says that there are not a lot of details at this point as it is early on in the investigation, his understanding is that the off-duty officer did not engage with the suspect at first. Once recognizing him as a wanted individual, he contacted on-duty officers. There was no firing back from police. Price said the individual was arrested largely without incident. The accused has been identified as 30-year-old Chavo Jackson of Toronto. He faces attempted murder and firearm charges on top of previous charges in 2022. The Toronto Police Chief Myron Demke issued a statement which reads, "Thank you for the outpouring of the well-wishes of our officer who, while off duty, recognized a wanted person and was shot assisting on-duty officers in their arrest. He is recovering at home. His diligence and the courage of all involved officers is commendable. In a post to Twitter, Toronto Mayor Olivia Chow offered her support, stating that she wishes the officer a quick recovery from their injuries and offer my full support. Violence is never acceptable. The Toronto Police Association has also released a statement stating that it is thankful the member will be okay and that they are proud of his efforts. Ontario Premier Doug Ford shared a message to social media calling the shooting a reminder of the risks officers face. This terrible shooting is a reminder of the risks our brave women and men in uniform face every day as they work to keep our communities safe, and why it's so important that we all have their backs. I'm relieved to hear that the officer is alive and receiving treatment, and I'm confident those responsible for this terrible act will be held accountable. The remains of the missing 7-year-old girl have been discovered in the Thames River after a multi-day search in London, Ontario. At approximately 1 p.m., members of our London Police Marine Unit and the London Fire Department located remains that we believe to be related to the investigation, said London Police Service Inspector Sean Travis. Close to 150 people have been searching each day since Anna Bailey 7 went into the river Thursday afternoon near Adelaide and Kipps Lane, where her family lives. Police helicopters, water search and rescue teams, and volunteers have been combing the river since her disappearance on Thursday evening. Her body was found Sunday afternoon near the area of Perth and University Drive, where the river crosses through the campus of Western University, about 4 kilometers from where she entered the water. This weekend have been a heavily coordinated effort between the OPP, the London Fire Department, volunteer agencies, London Search and Rescue, Huron Search and Rescue to systematically search both the banks and the waterways as thoroughly as possible, said Travis. As of Sunday, the London Fire Department had passed that area of the river and made its way west to the city limits. However, the Travis said teams doubled back and were able to locate the child. It was just a thorough search process involving understanding the river and the currents and relying on the expert advice, said Travis. It's obviously a tragic occurrence for everybody involved, most importantly the family. The officers and the searchers have put in some long, hard days and exhaustive efforts in the weather we have had, but everyone has been dedicated to their task. At least we will be able to provide some answers. Police said the investigation is now a death investigation, with the London Police Service Major Crimes Section supporting the coroner's office to investigate. The Liberals are labeling federal Conservative leader Pierre Poilievre weird in a new line of attack borrowed from the United States Democrats. Several Liberal MPs, including one cabinet minister, have used the word to describe Poilievre on social media in recent days. Even Prime Minister Justin Trudeau has joined in saying Poilievre needs to touch grass or reconnect with reality after the opposition leader accused him of admiring communist dictatorships. The tactic is apparently inspired by politics south of border, where Vice President Kamala Harris and other Democrats have been using weird to describe former President Donald Trump and running mate J.D. Vance. The insult seems to have gotten under Trump's skin. In an interview Thursday, he insisted he and Vance are not weird people. Canada's Conservatives have also responded to the dig, claiming Trudeau is a weirdo prime minister with weirdo policies. Canada's Foreign Affairs Minister Melanie Joly and her G7 counterparts have issued a joint statement calling for a de-escalation of tensions in the Middle East. The foreign ministers of Canada, France, Germany, Italy, Japan, the United Kingdom, and the United States issued the statement along with the High Representative of the European Union. The statement, which was released Sunday by Global Affairs Canada, says the ministers are expressing their deep concern at the heightened level of tension in the Middle East, which threatens to ignite a broader conflict in the region. It urges all parties to refrain from retaliatory violence, saying no country or nation stands to gain from a further escalation in the Middle East. Fears of an all-out regional war in the Middle East are mounting after the assassination of Hamas leader Ismail Haniyeh in Iran. No one immediately claimed responsibility for Wednesday's attack, but suspicion quickly fell on Israel, which vowed to kill Haniyeh and other Hamas leaders over the group's October 7th attack on Israel that sparked the war in Gaza. On Saturday, Global Affairs Canada upgraded its travel advisory for Israel to its highest risk level, warning Canadians to avoid all travel to the country due to the unpredictable security situation and ongoing regional conflicts. Canada had previously upgraded its travel advisory in April to warn against all travel to Israel and West Bank, but soon after downgraded its warning for Israel to avoid all non-essential travel. Ontario Provincial Police say a teenager is dead following a motorcycle crash Friday night in Haldimand County. They say the driver of the motorcycle was an 18-year-old man from Denfield, Ontario. Police emergency services responded to the collision just before 9 p.m. in the town of Dunville, about 85 kilometers southwest of Toronto. They say the driver was transported to Haldimand War Memorial Hospital, where he was pronounced dead. Police report that no other vehicles were involved in the collision. Provincial police say they are investigating the crash with help from technical collision investigators and traffic incident management enforcement. Thank you for tuning in. I'm Kubra Ali. I'll be back tomorrow, same time, same channel. Have a good night.